Good morning. It's 11 minutes after 11 a.m. on November 11th, and I'd like to start our dedication of the CBC Veterans Monument. My name is Rich Cummins. I'm the president of Columbia Basin College, and I can't believe what a beautiful day it is. Thank you all for being here. Last year on Veterans Day, it was snowing, so we're truly blessed this morning. On behalf of the Columbia Basin College Board of Trustees, Chairman Duke Mitchell, Vice Chair Sherry Armijo, Trustees Kedrick Jackson, Dr. Ricky Mayuga, and Bill Gordon, and on behalf of the faculty, administration, and students of Columbia Basin College, I welcome you to this truly monumental occasion. I also want to acknowledge at the outset that a small group of students led by Ryan Washburn, our Vet Corps ambassador for 2 years, are the ones who first approached me with the idea of a veterans monument, and it's their persistence with that vision that has made today possible. So thank you very much. To start our program, it's my honor to present CBC student and U.S. Marine Corps veteran Michael Stover, who will introduce us to a special American flag for today's ceremony, along with our flag bearers, Desiree Azzarello and Tom Gresham. Michael, will you please tell us about this special American flag?
Good morning. Will you all please rise for the presentation of the colors and our national anthem? From the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, Operation Enduring Freedom, on the 3rd of October 2013, this flag was flown over Afghanistan in the defense of the United States of America and her allies to an altitude greater than 70,000 feet by a U-2 pilot assigned to the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, operating from a forward operating location in Southwest Asia. This flag represents the dedication and steadfast devotion to duty of American service members engaged in the global war on terrorism and is a memorial to the thousands of innocent people that perished during the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001. Presented to Columbia Basin College veterans past, present, and future, may it serve to dedicate the Columbia Basin College Veterans Monument and as a reminder of America's commitment to the defense of liberty and freedom. Signed, Michael G. Opresky, Major, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce CBC student and veteran of the U.S. Army, Jessica McKeon, to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jessica. That was beautiful. I'd like to make some introductions. First of all, would all of the veterans in attendance please stand, and those who are standing, please raise your hand. Thank you. As all of us know, in the words of our Declaration of Independence, we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, but freedom is not free. Our nation was forged in a bloody conflict, and the freedoms that allow us to prosper are jealously safeguarded by a strong military. In that sense, every day is a Veterans Day. I want to recognize the elected officials who said that they would be here with us today. Our Congressman Doc Hastings, of course, is with us. He'll speak in a few moments. But please welcome Senator Mark Schessler, State Representative Terry Neely, and State Representative Larry Haler. These gentlemen deserve our praise and thanks for supporting many pieces of vet-friendly legislation, including the most recent law that guarantees priority registration at Columbia Basin College for our veterans. I also want to recognize members of the Columbian Basin Veterans Coalition, in particular Michael Black and Skip Novakovich, if they're here today, and President Paul Lamb and the members of the Chapter 3 Combat Veterans International, who have raised over $20,000 for CBC's veteran students. Also, I'd like to have a big hand for the man whose company, Jesse's Lawn Maintenance, produced this wonderful monument, Jesse Kadinger. Jesse? And finally, a few CBC folks I'd like to recognize. The director of the CBC Vet Center, which stands for Veterans Education and Transition Services, the Vet Center, Jason Schlegel. Lorena Schubert, his assistant. I'm not sure if Lorena's here today. And Dr. Stephen Malone, who works with us through the Veterans Administration on something called the Vital Grant Project. Dr. Malone. Now I'd like to introduce the chairman of the Columbia Basin College Board of Trustees, himself a veteran, retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Duke Mitchell.
Good morning. Again, my name is Duke Mitchell. I graduated from Richland High School in 1969 during the height of the Vietnam War, a highly controversial and unpopular war at the time. The United States had a military draft system in place and mandatory military service for qualified young male citizens, 18 to 26 years old. It was a time when many in the country did not treat our military service members well at all. I, for one, did not feel appreciated and sometimes not respected. It was a very different attitude and feeling for many service members and their families than we see today. Today, the vast majority of citizens appear to feel and even make special efforts to show the just and appropriate appreciation for our military and our military service members and their families. That's a very good thing. I am pleased and honored to be a part of today's Columbia Basin College Veterans Monument Dedication Ceremony. I have two main goals this morning. One, to recognize, honor, and thank all veterans of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, past, present, and future, and their family members. And two, to thank Columbia Basin College and its leadership for allowing and supporting the placement of this Veterans Monument in this beautiful location. Military service members and their entire family sacrifice so much of themselves, their time, their talents, and all too often their very lives in service of our great nation. The theme of this monument is remember. You will notice the word remember in several places on the monument. So at this time, again, I ask that all veterans of the armed forces of the United States of America who are present here today to stand, or if you're already standing, to raise your hand so you can once again be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Now I ask that the family members and relatives of a veteran of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, whether that military veteran is here today or not, to stand if you're not standing, and if you are standing, to raise your hand so that you can be recognized. Thank you again for your invaluable support to your military service veteran and to your country. Thank you. Please be seated. As I have said, my second main goal this morning is to say thank you to Columbia Basin College for allowing the Armed Forces Veterans Group at Columbia Basin College, the CBC Veterans Club, to have this symbolic and appropriate Veterans Monument placed at this beautiful spot on the CBC campus. I know many, many people worked several years to make this monument and this day possible, and we thank you. Just some of those people and groups are, again, the CBC Veterans Organization, led by Jason Slagle, the Columbia Basin College Foundation, led by Bob Roselli, the CBC President, Dr. Richard Cummins, Senior Vice President Bill Saraceno, and many, many others. They had a vision to remember and to honor the brave men and women who have fought for our nation's freedoms over the last 237 years or more. I believe this Columbia Basin College Veterans Monument has achieved that vision. It has reached that goal. Thank you all for a job well done. Thank you.
This monument would not have been possible had it not been for the students of Columbia Basin College, whose vision and wisdom it was to fund the building of our Veterans Monument. So please give a warm welcome to the President of the Associated Students of Columbia Basin College, Denise Lazaro.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Denise Lazaro, and I am the ASCBC Student Body President. I'd like to welcome you once again to today's ceremony. I am honored to be speaking on such an important day on behalf of the Associated Student Body of Columbia Basin College. We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage and their dedication, and to say thank you. Thank you for all your sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes who join us in this group today and those who are here only in spirit, I can't help but feel proud. We stand in the midst of patriots and family and friends of those who have nobly served. A close family friend of mine, Christopher, who I've known for many, many years and has become like a brother to me and is also a CBC alum, has recently been deployed into training with the U.S. Marines. And my heart goes out to him as well as to all the veterans here today. This monument was built for the students, like Chris, who have come and gone from CBC, and it's a way for us to honor for what they've done for our country. This monument is somewhat a small gesture that we can give back to all of our veterans. The monument was built in the summer, and we are very fortunate to have had it done by today. I know it is beautiful and kind of a little chilly outside, but I appreciate all of you for coming out and showing your support to our veterans. Thank you.
We're privileged today to have one of CBC's most veteran alums who went to school here in 1960, and then he went on to serve in the U.S. Army. And for the past 20 years, he has served in the U.S. Congressman as the 4th District's representative. And so please welcome the Honorable Doc Hastings. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you all. On this day of remembering our veterans, thank you for inviting me to participate in this monument dedication to help honor all those who have proudly served in the defense of our nation. As we gather here today, similar events, dedications, and memorials are taking place all across our great nation. If it were not for the service and sacrifice of our veterans, we would not enjoy the freedom to choose our government, the freedom to participate in our own religion, the freedom to elect our leaders, or the freedom to express our views. These and other freedoms are fundamental to all of us, and these freedoms provide the basis for the American dream, something, in my view, which sets America apart from all other countries. It's been said, and President Cummings said it just a moment ago, that freedom isn't free. And President Ronald Reagan once said, and I think he capsulized it very well, and I directly quote, "The price of freedom is high, but never more costly than the loss of freedom. And freedom, we must always remember, is never more than one generation away from extinction. Each generation must do whatever is necessary to preserve it and pass it on to the next, or it will be lost forever." End quote. It is these words, I believe, that directly summarizes the call to duty answered by everyone who has worn our nation's military uniform. They have willingly fought to protect and preserve the values that shape the character of our nation. Whether still on active duty or a proud veteran, each of these individuals honored those who served before them through their dedication and commitment to protecting the freedoms we hold so dear. Today is a day set aside to remember and honor the sacrifices that our veterans and servicemen and women have made for each of us. Their service provides for the greater good and is one of our country's greatest strengths. As we dedicate this honorable tribute to all who have served, let it be a symbol for future generations to heed the call of service and protect our nation's most precious liberties, never taking them for granted. There is no greater duty than to serve in the defense of this great nation and the freedom and liberty that our nation represents. So in closing, let us think of the men and women who are currently serving in our armed forces, especially those that are serving in foreign lands. These soldiers and their families deserve our thoughts and prayers for a safe return home. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Doc. Your words are very much appreciated, and I'm very grateful for your presence here today. Thank you. Now listen as we hear the wonderful voice of a CBC student, Vanessa Vega. I heard Vanessa sing for the first time when she was about 6 years old. She's a fantastic singer, and she's being recruited nationally by some of the best music schools in the country. She's going to be accompanied by CBC Associate Professor Gary Key.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. And may you always do for others and have others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young, may you stay May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young, may you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May you grow up to be strong with a song always in your heart. And may you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young, may you stay forever young.
Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa's a Running Start student, and her mom, Susan Vega, is in the audience. Susan must be pretty proud. I'd like to introduce another of our really terrific students, a United States Marine Corps veteran, Robert Wally Wallace. Wally?
Well, I can never follow a beautiful tune as that. I know the words that I display won't be as beautiful as that, but I'll definitely do my best. First off, I'd like to thank my Heavenly Father, for without him, none of this would be possible, as well as my family, for without them, the love and support that they give me, I would be nothing here at CBC. Good morning to everyone. Everyone who took the time out of their lives to make this an event a priority. Now, I can't stand here and speak for every veteran in attendance, so I'll only speak for myself. So as I stand here and look in awe and gaze at this beautiful monument, it kind of gives chills that run down my spine, the same type of chills that I felt when I took that oath of enlistment, when I raised the right hand that all needs to take when they serve this country. The same type of chills that I felt when I graduated the United States Marine Corps and was ready to serve this country. Now, this monument is not just for the students currently attending CBC, but it's for the students of the past and for the students of the future. Instead of wondering if this campus is a veteran-friendly campus, this monument will give them just a little taste of how veteran-friendly this campus is. This will let them know that they can continue to feel that bond of brotherhood and sisterhood that they felt when they served within their unit. The bond they feel when they're talking to a fellow vet for only 3 minutes and felt like they'd known them for their whole life. The bond that I now feel whenever I get assistance from the faculty and staff here at CBC that are designated to help out the vets. We think how it is impossible to forget the wounded in action and the killed in action because of the evidence of their ever sacrifice that we see before us. How we raise a black flag to remember the prisoner of wars and the missing in actions, and how it is embedded in the core of our body for each and every branch of service, birthday from young to old. From old to young. The Army and its 238th birthday on June 14, 1775. The original Navy, the Continental Navy, and its 238th birthday on October 13, 1775. And where I hold near and dear to my heart, the United States Marine Corps, and its 238th birthday, November 10, 1775. The Coast Guard and its 223rd birthday on August 4th, 1790. And the youth of our armed forces. No offense there, Colonel Mitchell, but the baby, the spoiled brat, the Air Force, 66th birthday on September 18th, 1947. Not every vet will feel the same bit of nostalgia that I feel at this moment for the military. It's not for everyone. But there is no doubt in every vet's mind that you can definitely put something into your life that you learned while you served your country. And you'll definitely strive to never discredit yourself or the branch of service that you served. In closing, I'd just like to remember an individual who had a dream, and because of his hard work and dedication, we have what you see here before you today. That individual is no other than Ryan Washburn, our former Vet Corps representative here on campus, and he has paved the way for CBCs to have their first Director of Veteran Services, the former Director of the Bachelor's Program of Applied Science and Management here at the college, Mr. Jason Schlegel. Once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all today at this glorious event. Happy Veterans Day, and Semper Fidelis.
Thank you, Wally. We're fortunate at Columbia Basin College to have not only some 400 veterans attending school here, but a number of faculty members who served our country in the armed forces. We're extremely proud of these faculty vets, just like we are of our student vets. I'd like to introduce one of those now, United States Navy veteran and CBC Associate Professor of Anthropology, Mark Taff. Dr. Taff.
This set up right? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Cummins, for the introduction. First, I want to thank you all for attending this dedication, and I'm also honored to have been asked to represent the many veterans we have among our staff, administration, and faculty here at CBC. When I was asked to speak, I was told the theme for the dedication was service, and I think this is a perfect theme because to me, this monument symbolizes service, and let me see if I can give you some of my reasons. As a member of the Columbia Basin College Veterans Affairs Committee, I was present when a group of our veteran students presented the idea that CBC needed a monument dedicated to those who have served, are serving, and will serve their country in the future. This was our students' vision, and it's rewarding to see it's become a reality. I'm sure it is everything they had hoped for and more. When they first presented their idea, it was clear they wanted a monument, not a memorial. They wanted a symbol for the community that would have meaning not only for those of us at CBC, the veterans, but also the CBC community and for the Tri-Cities in general. They were clear that they wanted this monument to be dedicated to all who have served, those who put on a uniform and those that stayed behind to support our women and men in the service. Again, I think this vision has been achieved. This monument will be seen by hundreds of people every day. It is a permanent reminder that service does not end when the uniform is taken off. For example, the CBC Veterans Club has made it one of their founding principles to use that club to provide service to the community. They have many plans on how they can continue to serve. And just as an example, members of the clubs are going to vets out in the community later this month to do something that may seem simple but of great value. They're going to rake up leaves, they're going to clean the yard. Now I know they don't want this known, they want to keep it private. They're not doing this for acknowledgement or praise. But it shows the spirit of our veterans, the spirit of service that they bring back to this community. And it makes me proud to be associated with them. This monument reminds us here at CBC of our obligation to and the service we owe our students who are veterans. It reminds us as faculty we need to be ready to do everything we can to help our veteran students make the transition into college and to ensure they're academically ready for the next phase of their life. This monument is a daily reminder to the college that we must do everything we can for our veterans. It is a reminder to us in the Tri-Cities that we owe so much to the men and women who have served in uniform and to their families. I'm proud to be a member of a community that, in the dedication of this monument, acknowledges what we owe to all our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I want to thank all of our speakers today as we wrap up this ceremony. And I just, you know, the monument is absolutely wonderful. And equally important, though, is our commitment to helping our veterans. So we need to be judged as a college by those efforts on an ongoing basis. And one of the things that we're doing is setting up this year with a full-time director of Veterans Education and Transition Services Office, which is in our hub building right behind you, the Hawk Union building and the Student Services Edition. And we want to invite you to stay around and to take a tour of the facility and see what we're trying to accomplish here in working with our veterans. We're very happy and very proud to serve this community and our veterans. One of our students, Brandon somewhere? I don't see him. We have someone, oh, yeah, okay, in the back there. The gentleman with his hand in the back is going to help guide you over to the facility. So please stay and have some refreshments and some fellowship. Thank you very, very much for being here this afternoon on a beautiful day. Thank you.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all